Hello everyone, I welcome you all to my online classes. This is Om Maths Corner. Today we shall discuss exercise 16.3. The name of the chapter is probability for the students of class 11, subject mathematics. So let us proceed now. The topic of the day is axiomatic approach to probability. In previous videos, that is exercise 16.1 and 16.2, we have considered random experiments, sample space, and events associated with these experiments. In our day to day life, we use many words about the chances of occurrence of events. Probability theory attempts to quantify these chances of occurrence or non occurrence of events. Moreover, in earlier classes, we have also studied some methods of assigning probability to an event associated with an experiment having known the number of total outcomes. Axiomatic approach is another way of describing probability of an event. In this approach, some axioms or rules are depicted to assign probability. So, in short, axiomatic approach to probability. What we can say? In this approach, some axioms or rules are depicted to assign probabilities. The very first rule, what we are writing here, probability of omega I is always greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1 for some omega I which is treated as the element of the sample space. The second rule is probability of omega 1 plus probability of omega 2 plus probability of omega 3 and so on up to last probability omega n. The sum of all these probabilities is equal to 1. Now what are these omega 1, omega 2 and omega n? Here let S be the sample space containing the outcomes omega 1, omega 2 and so on up to omega n. That is what we are writing, sample space is equal to, these are the elements of the sample space omega 1, omega 2 etc. up to omega n. So first condition in axiomatic approach to probability is probability of any of the outcome is always greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1. Sum of the probabilities of all these outcomes is always equal to 1. Last condition, last rule is for any event A, probability of that event A is equal to sum of all the probabilities of outcomes omega I, where these omega I belongs to these outcomes belongs to the set A. Okay, what is A? A is subset of the sample space. Okay, so again in this approach, axiomatic approach, some axioms or rules are depicted. These are the three rules to assign the probability. Thereafter we can discuss about the probability. So this is what we are going to discuss in exercise 16.3. Now we shall move towards the questions of the exercise 16.3. The very first question is question number 1. Which of the following cannot be valid assignment of probabilities for outcomes of sample space? S is the sample space, W1, omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4, omega 5, omega 6 and omega 7. These are the possible outcomes in the sample space. Now, but what is the assignment? This is the table which is given here. Assignment omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4, omega 5, omega 6, omega 7. What is assignment? First assignment A. Assignment A, corresponding probability of omega 1 is 0.1, probability omega 2 is 0.01, probability of omega 3 0.0305, omega 4 probability is 0.03, probability of omega 5 is 0.01, probability of omega 6 is 0.2, probability of omega 7 is 0.6. First of all, we see that all these probabilities, they are greater than or equal to 0, greater than 0. So probability of omega I should be greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1. The very first condition is satisfied. Second condition is the sum of all these probabilities that should be equal to 1. Here if we add 0.1 plus 0.01 plus 0.05 plus 0.03 plus 0.01 plus 0.2 plus 0.60. So what is the sum here? 1 plus 5 6, 6 plus 3 9, 9 plus 1 10, 1 1 plus 1 2, 2 2 4, 4 plus 6 10, 1.00. So what we say, sum of all the probabilities I is equal to 1 to 7, this is equal to 1. So again second condition is also verified, this is valid. So what we say, this is a valid probability distribution, valid, right? Now we take second part, B part. B part, each probability is 1 upon 7. So first condition, probability should be greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1, that is verified. Even second condition, if we add these 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 7 upon 7, that is also equal to 1. So once again B part valid, this is also valid probability distribution, right? Next C part, the corresponding probabilities of omega 1 omega 2, they are given in C part: 0.1 0.2 0.3 0.4 0.5 0.6 0.7. So first condition is verified, each probability is greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1. But the second condition, what is the second condition? 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.4 plus 0.5 plus 0.6 plus 0.7. Now what is the sum? The sum, this is equal to, the sum is 2.8. 2.8. So this sum is not equal to 1. So what is the conclusion? This distribution is not valid because second condition is not satisfied. Okay. Now what is the next part? D part. In D part, the corresponding probabilities of omega 1 omega 2 etc., they are minus 0.1 0.2 0.3 0.4 minus 0.2 0.1 0.3. So here what we see, this is negative, moreover this is also negative. So what is the condition? That each probability should be less than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to 0, is not satisfied because this is less than 0, this is also less than 0. So what we say, again we say, this distribution is not valid. Now next part, E part, probability of omega 1 is 1 upon 14, probability of omega 2 is 2 upon 14, next is 3 upon 14, 4 upon 14, 5 upon 14, 6 upon 14, 15 upon 14. What is 15 upon 14? 15 upon 14 is greater than 1. So each probability should be less than or equal to 1. So because this is greater than 1, because of this probability, what is the conclusion? Not valid. So we write here not valid probability assignment. Okay. So this was our question number 1. Now next question. Now question number 2 is, a coin is tossed twice. What is the probability that at least one tail occurs? So for this purpose, first of all we write here what is the sample space when a coin is tossed twice. The sample space will be S equal to either head occurs or head tail. First is tail, then head, or tail. These are the possible outcomes when coin is tossed twice. Now what is the probability that at least one tail occurs? So E is the event, at least one tail. So what we say, E is equal to HT, here is only one tail, or TH, right? So probability of E, that is equal to, we have two outcomes in E, whereas total outcomes in sample space they are 4, 2 upon 4. So our probability is 1 upon 2. But here at least one tails mean either one time tail or two times tail, that is also okay. TT is also the part of at least one tail. So now number of favorable outcomes in E, they becomes 3. So 3 upon 4 is the required probability. Once again, at least one tail, it mean either one tail or more than one tail, they are also valid. HT, TH, TT are the outcomes in E. So number of favorable outcomes in E, they are 3, and number of total outcomes in sample space, they are 4. 3 upon 4 is the required probability. Now next question. Question number 3. A die is thrown. Find the probability of the following events. So first of all, a die is thrown. What should be the sample space? The sample space have the outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now what is next? What is first part? First part is a prime number will appear. So here the event E1, it has the element. What are the prime numbers? First prime number is 2, next prime number is 3, next prime number is 5. So what we say, probability of E1, here we have 3 elements, and in sample space total number of outcomes they are 6. 3 upon 6, that is 1 upon 2 is the answer. Now next part, the event is a number greater than or equal to 3 will appear. So here what is E2? This event, the elements will be a number greater than or equal to 3, starting from 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probability of this event E2, that is equal to 4 elements out of 6, that is equal to 2 upon 3 is the required probability. Now next part. Next event is part number 3, a number less than or equal to 1 will appear. So in this case, this is the event 3. The elements of event 3, number less than or equal to 1, only 1 is the element. So what is probability of E3? Only one element, that is 1 upon, out of sample space we have 6 element. 1 upon 6 is the answer to this question. Now next part. Part number 4, the event is a number more than 6 will appear when a die is thrown. So event 4, what are the possible outcomes? Number more than 6, not possible. The bracket remains empty. Okay. So what is the probability of this event E4? That is 0. 5. The probability of 5 is always equal to 0. Now next part is fifth part. The event is a number less than 6 will appear when a die is thrown. So of course here E5 is the probability. It contains the element number less than 6 out of this sample space. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probability of this event E5, total number of favorable outcomes they are 5, and total number of elements in sample space they are 6. 5 upon 6 is the answer to this question. So this was our question number 3. Now next question. Question number 4. A card is selected from a pack of 52 cards. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? A card is selected from a pack of 52 cards. The first question is A part, how many points are there in the sample space? Very easy, because the cards, total number of cards, that is 52. So how many points are there in the sample space? This is 52 points, because we have 52 cards. This was part number A. Now next part is B part, calculate the probability that the card is an ace of spades. Okay, so first of all, there are 13 spades, does not matter. An ace, one ace, that is out of 52 cards, we are finding here the probability of an ace of spades. One card is selected, that is out of 52 playing cards. So this is the required probability. Now next C part is calculate the probability that the card is number first an ace. So here probability of an ace. How many aces are there in 52 playing cards? Of course they are 4. So 4 favorable outcomes. Whole divide. Total number of points in sample space, they are 52. 4 upon 52, that is 1 upon 13 is the required probability. Part 1 of part C. Now next is second part, black card. So what is the probability that one black card is drawn? We know that there are 26 black cards, in total 52 playing cards. So 26 favorable outcomes, divide 52 total number of points in sample space. 26 upon 52, that is 1 upon 2 is the required probability. So this was our question number 4. Now next question. A fair coin with 1 marked on one face and 6 on the other and a fair die are both tossed, find the probability that the sum of numbers that turn up is number 1 3, number 2 12. So here first of all, in question number 5, what we do, we need the sample space. Sample space, in place of head and tail on the coin, there is 1 on one face and 6 on the other face. So in place of head and tail, we write 1 and 6. Okay, and a fair die. Die mean it has 1 2 3 4 5 6 on the faces. So with 1 occurs, 1 2 1 3. Second is showing the face of the die, 1 4 1 5 1 6. Similarly here with 6 1 6 2 6 3 6 4 6 5 6 6. These are the points of the sample space when this coin and a fair die is are both are tossed together. Okay, now what is the first part? When the sum is 3, where is the sum 3? Here 1 plus 2 is 3. Only 1 plus 2, that makes 3. Is there any other event which is making the sum equal to 3? No. So when probability that sum is equal to 3 is only one event out of 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 plus 6 12. 1 upon 12 is the answer, the probability when sum is 3. This was first part. Now second part is, again the sum is 12. Probability sum is equal to 12. 6 plus 6 makes 12. Rest of there is no element which is making the sum 12. So only 6 and 6, only one outcome out of 12 outcomes, they are making the sum equal to 12. So again, the answer to second part, probability that sum is 12, probability is 1 upon 12. So this was our question number 5. Question number 6, there are 4 men and 6 women on the city council. If one council member is selected for a committee at random, how likely is it that it is a woman? So first of all, woman. How many women are there? Probability that a woman is selected. Now we know that total favorable cases, chances, outcomes, they are 6 women. Okay, and total 4 men plus 6 women. That is required probability, that becomes 6 upon 4 plus 6, which is equal to 6 upon 10. So what is the answer? 3 upon 5 is the required answer. Here this is clear that in numerator we write total number of favorable outcomes. In denominator we write all the possible outcomes of the sample space. Now next question, question number 7 is, question number 7, a fair coin is tossed 4 times and a person win rupees 1 for each head and lose rupees 1.50 for each tail that turns up. Now question is, from the sample space calculate how many different amounts of money you can have after 4 tosses and the probability of having each of these amounts. So first of all we need to write what is the sample space after when a fair coin is tossed 4 times. Sample space will be, first of all times head occurs. These are the 3 events when 3 times head occurs. Now these are the 3 events when 2 times tail occurs. This is the event when 3 times tail occurs, 1 time head. So in this row, first element is H everywhere. Now in second row, first element will be tail. Rest arrangement of H and T, that will remain same. Here in place of first T, rest everything is same. Next, here first T in place of first H. Next, now T replaced with H. Last, in place of H we write T, rest everything is same, T, T, T. So these are the total number of outcomes in the sample space. Now what are the events? First event we say E1 all head, 4 times head occurs. Next E2, suppose E2 is the event 3 times head occurs. Here I have collected all the outcomes when 3 times head is occurring. Here this is 3 events in red ink. This is also one event. So E2 means 3 times head occurs. Now E3 mean 2 times head occurs. Only 2 times head occurs. This is first, second, third. Next, this one, and this one. 2 times head occurs. Next, E4 is the event when only 1 time head occurs. Only 1 time head occurs. So this is the first event, HTTT. Next, we have this second, third, fourth. Only 1 time head is occurring. Lastly, E5 is the event when there is no head. That is only TTT. TTT. So we have T, 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 T. Right? Once again, what is the question? From the sample space, calculate how many different amounts of money you can have after 4 tosses. So here, as per the statement, a fair coin is tossed for 4 times and a person win rupee 1 for each head. Here, in case of event 1, HHH, each time 1 rupee is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That is rupees 4. This is plus 4. Plus 4 mean wins rupees 4. In case of event 2, first here rupees 1 plus 1 plus 1 minus 1.50. This is the loss 1t. Okay, so here what we say, 1 2 3 4, 4 events are giving this way. But the thing is, what is the total? 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. 3 minus 1.50. So this sum equals rupees 1.50. Okay. Now in case of event 3, 2 times head, 2 times tail. So what we say? 1 plus 1 tt mean minus 1.50 minus 1.50. Right? So this is equal to 1 plus 1 is 2, minus 1.5 minus 1.5 is 3, minus 3. 2 minus 3, that is equal to minus 1, rupees minus 1. That is, here we have the loss of rupee 1. Now in case of event 4, 1 time head, 3 times tail. What have we have? 1 minus 1.50 minus 1.50 minus 1.50. That means 4.5. This is equal to 1 minus 4.5. So answer is loss rupees minus 3.50. This is the loss. Now in case of event E, TTT, all time tail. So what we see, minus 1.50 minus 1.50 minus 1.50 minus 1.50. So what is the total? This is minus 6, rupees minus 6.00. This is the loss. So this was the first part. From the sample space, calculate how many different amounts of money you can have after 4 tosses and the probability, okay, and the probability of having each of these amounts. Now this is the second part. That is, now question is that what is the probability that rupees 4 wins? Okay, the person wins rupees 4. What is the probability? Here only one event is there. One event is there out of 16 events. So this is the answer to this question. Similarly, rupees 1.50, the person wins rupees 1.50. So here what we see, 1 2 3 4, 4 events are there out of 16 events. That is, this is equal to 1 upon 4. Next, what is the probability? Probability that rupees minus 1 loss of rupees minus 1. Here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 events out of 16 events. That is, probability will be 3 into 2, 8, 3 upon 8. So what is the probability that rupees 1 loss is there for the person? The probability is 3 upon 8. Next, in case of event for E4, the loss of 3.50. So what is the probability that this loss occurs? Now here how many events are there? 1 2 3 4 events are there out of total events in sample space 16. That is, 1 upon 4 is the required probability in this case. Now lastly, what is the probability that there is a loss of rupees 6? That is, all time t occurs. So required probability is 1 upon 16. So this is the required answer to this question. Now question number 8. 3 coins are tossed once. Find the probability of getting. First of all, we need the sample space. What should be the sample space when 3 coins are tossed once? These are the possible outcomes when a coin is tossed, or we say when coins are tossed once. Okay, these are the possible outcomes in the sample space. Find the probability of getting. The first part is 3 heads. So what is the probability that 3 heads appears? That is, we are interested to find the probability of HHH. So here only one event is there. Total they are 8. 1 upon 8 is the required probability. Now second part, probability of 2 heads. That is, what is the probability that HHT, HTH, THH, 3 events out of 8 events. 3 upon 8 is the required probability. Next part, probability of at least 2 heads. Probability of at least 2 heads. It means probability of 2 heads or 3 heads. At least 2 heads mean 2 heads or 3 heads. Probability of 2 heads or probability of 3 heads. So what we say here, how many 2 heads we write here? Probability of 2 heads, HHT, HTH, THH, or plus, or mean plus, probability of 3 heads, probability of HHH. So answer is 3 upon 8 plus 1 upon 8, 4 upon 8, which is equal to 1 upon 2. Fourth part, at most 2 heads. It mean 0 head, probability of 0 head, or probability of 1 head, or probability of 2 heads. At most 2 heads mean 0 head or 1 head or 2 heads. So that mean probability of 0 head mean T, 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 or mean comma. 1 head mean H, T, 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 H, T, 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 H. 2 heads mean H, H, T, H, T, H, T, H, H. So how many outcomes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 upon 8 is the required probability. Part number 5, no head. So probability of no head mean, what is the probability of T, T, T? So this is only one event out of 8 events. 1 upon 8 is the answer. Next, sixth part, probability of 3 tails. Again, no head or 3 tails, the meaning is same. So answer is 1 upon 8. Next part, part number 7, what is the probability of getting exactly 2 tails? So here, probability of exactly 2 tails, that means HTT, THT, TTH, exactly 2 tails. So here we have 3 events out of 8 events. Part number 8, no tail. Probability of no tail, that is probability of no tail mean only HHH. So here is only one event out of 8 events with HHH. We insert here curly bracket. Next, at most two tails. So here at most two tails mean zero tail or one tail or two tails. This is the meaning of at most two tails. So what we say, zero tail mean probability of H H H. One tail mean H H T H T H T H H. Two tails mean H T T T H T T T H. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So total 7 events outcomes out of 8 outcomes in sample space. This is the required probability. As there are total 21 questions in exercise 16.3, so in part 1 we are taking only up to question number 8. Question number 1 to question number 8 we have all the questions we have discussed